Creating a portfolio for your portrait work has changed a lot over the years. If you want to make money as a photographer someday, you need to follow these 5 tips right away. In fact, these tips have helped me work as a photographer full-time for more than a decade, and they could help you too. The number one thing that I see photographers get wrong is that they share way too many images. This is especially true when they're starting out, and it's the most common mistake that I see. You've probably seen it before, the gallery where you see someone posing like this, and then the next photo they're posing like this, and the next one they're like this, and then like this. You get the point. As photographers, people judge us by our worst images. Let's say you have 100 awesome photos in your portfolio. If there are 2 or 3 bad ones in there, chances are that you're going to be judged more by those few photos. I'm not saying it's fair at all, it's just the way that it goes. Our goal should be to get rid of any doubt that we could deliver quality images, and this plays into that psychology. Okay, so how do we fix this? My advice here is to select the best 2 to 3 images from a single photo shoot and share those images on your website or your printed portfolio. You have to be merciless in the culling process. Only share the images that best reflect your style, your taste, and your skill as a photographer. Early on, that might only be 1 image from a photo shoot, and that's perfectly fine. This means that you'll have to go out and do a lot of photo shoots to build up enough content to properly assemble the galleries in your portfolio. Hey, sorry to interrupt the video, but I have a quick question for you. I want you to go to your website right now and count the number of images that you have in a single gallery. Then count how many total images that you have throughout your entire website. Leave that number in the comment section of this video. I'm curious to see what numbers that we actually end up with. Toward the end of the video, I'll share the ideal number of images to aim for, but first, I want to give you my second tip. When viewing your images, try to see them from the perspective of your potential clients. This might sound harsh, but it doesn't matter what you think about your images. You have to put yourself in the shoes of a potential client. And I'm not talking about those clients that are happy with whatever it is that you might create. We all get those at some point, the ones that they see us as superheroes. You want to put yourself in the mindset of the most critical client that you could possibly imagine and think about the answers to these questions. What do my images convey? Do the photos in my portfolio exhibit expertise in whatever style or genre of photography that I'm going after? Do they look better than what they could get if they bought a similar camera from their local camera shop? Do they look like images that someone would pay for? If a photo in your portfolio doesn't show any kind of technical or artistic expertise, get it out of there. It's not a good idea to add a picture to your portfolio if it looks like it was taken with a regular phone or with a simple camera. Even if the lighting was decent or the place looked epic, save it for your personal pages. Remember, you're judged not by your best images, but by the worst ones. So get into the practice of seeing your images through critical eyes. I promise that you'll have more success if you follow this important tip. This next one is a bit controversial. You should only share the types of images that you would ultimately want to be hired for. This means that if you want to be a wedding photographer, for example, you should avoid showing macro photos of bugs or coins in your portfolio. If you took some amazing images during your backpacking trip to Europe, that's great, that's awesome. Again, save it for your personal pages if it doesn't relate to your photography niche. If you're a photographer who specializes in weddings, it's important to have pictures in your gallery that will be of interest to a bride. They'll want to see photos of the wedding venue, family photos, first looks, images like that. When people look at your photos, they should walk away with the feeling that you're an expert at what you do. Sorry, one sec. I just got a message from a photographer that says that they don't want to limit themselves and their business by only showing one genre of photography. Listen, if you're the one who sent me this message, I want you to listen closely. I'm not saying that you can't accept clients who want you to shoot something outside of your given niche. In fact, some people might look at your photos and ask if you take pictures of other types of work. If you feel comfortable shooting whatever kind of work it is that they're asking for, of course you go out there and you do an awesome job and you get that money. This has certainly been the case in my own career. Even though I specialize in portraits, I still get requests to shoot events, products, and videos. If I do enough of a certain type of work, I'll make a new gallery and I keep that private. I keep all of the images in that gallery private and only show them to clients who ask if I'm able to do whatever work it is that they're requesting. The bottom line is to get rid of the idea that you have to make people believe that you're a jack of all trades just by looking at your portfolio. It's better to appear as the master of one thing, and I promise that you'll get way more opportunities to photograph all sorts of different projects if you do this the right way. By the way, today's video isn't sponsored, but if you're getting value out of this type of content, do me a favor and leave a like on this video. It lets me know that you want to see informative videos like this in the future. Thank you for your support. This next tip is one that I've said hundreds of times to photographers from around the world, and that is to keep your website simple. I've seen photography websites with all sorts of fancy banner animations, drop-down menus, and tons of text everywhere, and it just makes my head spin. There's nothing wrong with keeping your website portfolio simple. With every click, a prospective client should be met with only the kinds of images that showcase and sell your expertise. Every time they click on your site, it should be getting them closer to making a decision to hire you. No more, no less. Also, if you happen to have any publications or professional awards, you could definitely share those as well, but keep the focus on your imagery. On my website, for example, you could see that the layout is really simple and easy to navigate. The images appear big, and clicking on those images punches in to give you more detail. This design you're looking at is actually a Squarespace website. They're not paying for me to promote them, but they have lots of easy to use designs that help you focus on the most important part of your page, your pictures. Regardless of who you use for your own website, do your clients a favor and aim to keep it simple and keep it as a minimalist design for every page and gallery on your site. Now, all the tips that we've discussed so far take me to a big one. Your portfolio should showcase diversity whenever possible. I want you to think really big for a few moments here. When I say the word diversity, you might be thinking gender, ethnicity, things like that. Of course, your portfolio should reflect skill in working with all different kinds of people. Adding that kind of diversity usually takes a long time, unless you're obsessed and you work hard to meet and work with lots of different people. If that's you, nice work. You are on the right track. The kind of diversity that I'm really talking about is even broader than that. It's all of those things, but also diversity in your locations, diversity in your lighting, diversity in your props. If you photograph models, maybe it's diversity in hairstyles, makeup, diversity in wardrobe. It could be diverse compositions, diverse lighting, diverse locations. You gotta think broad. Take all of those diverse examples and put them into galleries that each have around 35 to 40 images. That's the magic number that I personally try to aim for. On your website, if you're within your first year in photography, I'd recommend keeping that number to around 12 to maybe 15 images. Remember, it's all about quality over quantity. There are lots of ways to show how you express your diversity in your work, but the most important thing is that when someone looks at your pictures, they could still tell that all of them are yours. If you could do this well, getting client work will come easy. If you want to become more diverse and skilled as a photographer, learning how to use a flash will help you level up. I made a simple tutorial that you could watch for free. In it, I walked through the process step by step so that you can start using flash in your portrait photography work right away. Click the video that you see here on the screen to get started.